Hi, I'm Emily. I am the founder of Between Our Thighs, and I am here with Reya Health to talk to you about the different birth control options that are available.
Hi everyone, my name is Dallas, my pronouns are she and her, and I'm the founder and CEO of Reya Health. Reya is a digital platform for contraceptive counseling. Everything from personalized information and support to helping you track any side effects and monitor your overall use of a birth control method. Today, I'm here to talk all about contraceptives.
So the external condom is a very popular option for birth control. With perfect use, it's 97% effective, but the average use is about 86% effective. And an external condom is worn over the penis, and it's great because it can be purchased in a bunch of different external textures, and that can change the sensation of intercourse with the vagina or with the anus, and also during oral sex. The best external condoms are made from latex, polyisoprene, and polyurethane. Always remember to open the packaging slowly, avoiding teeth or long fingernails so that you don't puncture the condom and cause holes, which decrease the effectiveness of it, and roll it on correctly. So the rim should always be at the tip of the penis, and then you pinch it and roll it down over the shaft to make sure that any ejaculate will be kept in that air pocket. External condoms should always be removed outside of the body, whether it's in the anus or the vagina or the mouth. Always take it off afterwards.
One of my favorite options to talk about that honestly doesn't get a lot of light is the internal condom. This is a barrier method that is inserted into the vagina and it protects against STIs and pregnancy, similarly to the external condom. So it collects the sperm and makes sure the sperm doesn't reach the uterus. A fun fact about this option is that it can be inserted hours in advance, so you can stay prepared.
Next up, we have the intrauterine device, also known as an IUD. Once inserted, this is over 99.9% effective, so it is a great option. With an IUD, a healthcare practitioner inserts the IUD into the uterus, which can work for up to 10 years. So not only does it prevent pregnancy, but it can also ease really painful and heavy periods, which is amazing. This decade of birth control convenience, so to speak, makes it ideal for impromptu one-night stands, traveling abroad, and having sex because you don't have to worry about taking pills or stuff during certain time zones, and fumbling around with birth control methods if you're into attending play parties.
Something to think about when you're weighing your options about which contraceptive you want to use is if you're going to go the hormonal or the non-hormonal route. A great non-hormonal option is the copper IUD. It's long-lasting, so it works for up to 10 years, and it's a small little device that goes into the uterus and prevents pregnancy with the copper material that it's made out of. So the copper material actually prevents pregnancy by not allowing a fertilized egg to attach itself to the uterus. This option does not protect against STIs, but it can be used as an emergency contraceptive.
Another awesome option is the vaginal ring, also known as a hormonal ring. With perfect use, it's 99% effective. However, average use is about 91% effective. So the hormonal ring is a soft plastic ring that can be self-placed into the vagina by pushing it up into the cervix. And to remove it, you just hook it with your index finger and you pull it out slowly towards the vaginal opening. Plus, if you needed another bonus for using the hormonal ring, unlike oral contraception, it still works if you're vomiting or you have diarrhea. And it also helps ease menstrual cramps, which is a great plus.
Who's heard of the diaphragm? This is another great non-hormonal option to prevent pregnancy. It's like a small disc, similar to, I would describe it like a diva cup, but a little bit shorter, that is folded and inserted into the vagina and kind of tucked up against the cervix to prevent sperm from reaching the uterus. It's best used with spermicide, but sometimes some people might have vulva irritations with spermicide, so talk to your doctor, do a little test, read all about that. This option is a barrier method, but it does not protect against STIs. Some doctors might also want to help with a fitting for the first time so that you can get used to it and really understand how to place it properly.
Next up, we have the cervical cap. If you've never given birth, it's about 86% effective, but after giving birth, it drops down to about 71% efficacy. So this is a reusable silicone cup that gets placed inside the vagina over the cervix where it suctions into place. For folks that use tampons, inserting a cervical cap is quite similar. You just squeeze the cap together before pushing it into yourself and up to the cervix. So while you're using it, you have to avoid any and all oil-based lubricants because that can damage the cervical cap's silicone material. And unfortunately, this method is only effective when used in combination with spermicide. It also has to stay in place for a minimum of 6 hours and a maximum of 48 hours after having sex.
Another option similar to the diaphragm is the contraceptive sponge. And again, it does not get talked about enough, or it doesn't have much of a spotlight within the contraceptive world. It is a non-hormonal option that's made out of a polyurethane foam and uses barrier method and spermicide to prevent pregnancy. It does not protect against STIs, but it's inserted into the vagina and sits at the base, or at the top of the vagina, right at the cervix, to prevent sperm from entering the uterus.
Spermicide is next on our list. And when used, it's over 72% effective on its own. So this can also be used in combination with other birth control methods as well. But like I said, it can be used completely on its own as well. The spermicide can be squeezed directly into the vagina 10 to 15 minutes before sex and reapplied every hour after that. Unfortunately though, because it has nonoxynol 9 in it, which is an over-the-counter vaginal spermicide, it can easily transmit human papillomavirus, which is also known as HPV. So if you're hoping to prevent sexually transmitted infections, then this is not the ideal birth control for you.
And for the option you've all been waiting for, the pill, the oral contraceptive pill, which is actually used by almost 60% of birth control users. This option comes in a few different forms. So you have the mini pill, which contains only progestin. The combo pill contains estrogen and progestin. And then you have the extended pill, which generally contains estrogen and progestin, but it's used for an extended period of time. So you don't get that placebo period for about a few months. However, you can safely use any pill, so the progestin only or the combo pill, as an extended period. You just continue the next pill pack and miss that sugar pill week, so you don't have your placebo period. I should backtrack though and say that the oral contraceptive is a pill that you take every day, and it prevents pregnancy by preventing ovulation. This is a pill that you do have to take at the same time every day. It does not protect against STIs, but it is an option that you're able to start and stop on your own. So some people do prefer this and they want to skip that whole medical procedure like the copper IUD requires, for instance. It's important to note that there are so many different types of progestin-only combo pills and extended options that it's so important to have conversations up front when you're weighing your options about which pill you might want to go on, so that you can find a method that works for you.
Contraceptive implants, once inserted, are 99% effective. So it gets placed under the skin of the upper arm and uses a steady release of hormones to thicken the cervical mucus while also thinning the lining of the uterus and preventing ovulation for about 3 years. It's also one of the best methods for folks with gender dysphoria because it helps you love your body exactly as it is.
A birth control method that I've honestly been quite curious about, but I've never tried, is the contraceptive patch. So this is a sticker about yay big that is placed on your skin in areas where it won't get rubbed on by clothing too much, and it releases a combination of estrogen and progestin. This is what prevents pregnancy. It's a highly effective option. It does not protect against STIs. It works similarly to the pill in that you place it for 3 weeks and then you remove it for a week to have your placebo bleed, or that placebo period. Similarly to those sugar pills in that 1 week where you have your period if you're on the pill. You also can start and stop this option on your own, so you have a little bit more autonomy there with this method.
Contraceptive injection is another awesome birth control method that people use. With perfect use, it's 99% effective. However, average use brings it to about 94% efficacy. This method is administered with a syringe by a healthcare professional and is given to people with vaginas. It can last between 1 to 3 months, depending on which brand you opt to go with, and is a really great way to protect yourself from pregnancy without having to worry about daily pills or vaginal insertions. For some people, it can even help reduce heavy and painful periods, which is an amazing side effect, if you ask me.
An option that's gained a lot of popularity in the past few years is fertility awareness method, otherwise known as FEM. So this option actually was generally used to help people get pregnant, but now it's used more often as a way to avoid pregnancy. So this is the practice of tracking your cycle and knowing when you are fertile, so really pinpointing when you ovulate. This is done using your basal body temperature, that you take your temperature daily, as well as tracking and monitoring your cervical mucus and different symptoms throughout your cycle. There are apps that can help with this, but some apps also offer luteinizing hormone tests. So this is just like a pee swab that you can do that really helps pinpoint when you ovulate. And then when you understand when that window is within your cycle, you either avoid sex during that time or take extra precautions. This option certainly takes a little bit more practice and more diligent habit building, but it is a highly effective method when done properly. It does not protect against STIs, but it is a great way to get to know your body and really understand your cycle. I should mention that the fertility awareness method is non-hormonal, so it doesn't interfere or interrupt your natural biological cycle, and it actually uses that cycle to your advantage. Also, cultures throughout history have used this method as pregnancy prevention.
The withdrawal or pulling out method with perfect use is about 96% effective. However, average use brings it to about 78% efficacy. So pulling out is exactly what it sounds like, withdrawing the penis from the vagina prior to ejaculation to prevent pregnancy. However, this method works when no ejaculate enters the vagina, and it is not a foolproof method by any means. Even the smallest amounts of ejaculate or cum can result in the fertilization of an egg, and that includes pre-cum, which can be discharged from the penis prior to ejaculation and orgasm.
Final method we're going to chat about today is sterilization. So this is a surgical permanent procedure that you can get done, and it basically is a matter of either tying or blocking the fallopian tubes. So the fallopian tubes is the passageway from the ovaries to the uterus that the eggs take during ovulation once a month or once a cycle. So that's it that I have for you today, all about contraceptives, but I did want to take some time to thank you and leave you with one thing, that being everyone's unique. Everyone's body, everyone's journey with birth control and health journey is all about the individual. So it's so important to have conversations up front and while you're navigating and weighing your options when it comes to birth control to really understand where you're coming from in your lifestyle, your preferences, your hormonal profile, all of these things that can really paint a picture for, what makes a good match for you. Shameless plug, Reya can help with this. So we take you through the process of outlining your past experience with birth control, medical history, lifestyle, preferences, all of this good stuff to match you to birth control options that could work really well for you. We enable you with the tools and the resources that's personalized for your situation so that you have what you need to make confident and comfortable decisions for your own health.